everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Why I Love St. Augustine, your local podcast spotlighting local businesses and local residents on what they love about being a part of St. Augustine. So today, I'm super excited to have my guest Angeli with us today. Angeli, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to this.
Thank you. I'm so excited that you're interested in my business and letting me have a chance to talk about it. So,
Of
yeah, it's
course.
great.
Yeah, so it wasn't too long ago. I was connected with a mutual friend of ours, Vanessa, who owns the Tobies coffee truck, and she was
Yes.
talking about cats and her love for cats. And she's like, "Oh, I actually connected with this cat cafe in St. Augustine." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, stop it! I love cat cafes." I'm from Michigan originally, and there were a few that we went to up there. Me, my friends, my family. If there was an excuse, we would go there. So we haven't
Right.
made it up to St. Augustine just yet because life is just crazy. But I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to talk to her and learn about it. So I'm really looking forward to it. So why don't you kind of just kick us off and tell me a little bit about your journey, coming to St. Augustine, coming to St. John's, and how's that been?
Okay, wonderful. Well, I actually moved close by to the area when I was about 12 years old. So it was a while back. I went to school in Clay County, which is across the river. But we would always come to St. Augustine for like school trips and, for beach days and just, to find something fun to do. So I've always fallen in love with St. Augustine. My family's from Puerto Rico, and St. Augustine reminds me a lot of San Juan, Puerto Rico. So that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with this small, beautiful small town in the US. Um, I didn't really move into St. Johns County until about 10 years ago. I was mostly just in the Clay County Duval area, but now I'm here. I was working at several corporate jobs and then decided to open up my own business about 5 years ago. Um, and I always fell in love with St. Augustine. I'd always loved it. It's such a wonderful place to come visit, and I thought this is the perfect place for a cat cafe. So that's kind of how that started.
Yeah, and what kind of pushed you
Yeah.
to be like, this is finally, I'm ready to take that leap and open my own business?
Oh my goodness, that was a wonderful story. So, I I had been in the corporate um, for a long time, corporate business for a long time. Never really found my niche, never really found a place that I really felt like I belonged, where I really liked it. So I was always looking for something to do, and I've always loved cats ever since I was a little kid. I always loved cats. So my mom actually gave me this article about a girl who quit her corporate job, went to Thailand, went to a cat cafe, fell in love with the idea, and then brought it back to the US and opened up a cat cafe in the US. And I was like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. So I started putting ideas together, started putting together a business plan, sat down, got creative, and just started dreaming, right? And then I convinced my husband to go along with me, and because I put together the business plan, he really liked it, and he's like, "Well, if you really think this will work," and I'm like, "Yes." And then during this time, like I started actually visiting cat cafes in the U.S. So I went to like several of them. I went to one in Indianapolis, another one in Savannah, Charleston. So I was just trying to like get some ideas of like, picking out all the beautiful, aspects of each one that I liked and like just coming up with my own. Um, and finally, we started actually taking steps towards it like around 2018, 2019, really started like looking for places and things like that. And then we actually found a place in 2019, and then we opened in 2020, right around when COVID hit. So that was really tough, opening up a business in COVID. But luckily, we were in Florida. Florida never really shut down, thank goodness. So we were able to stay open. And 4 years later, here we are. So it's been 4 years of helping kitty cats
Wow,
get adopted. And
congrats.
yeah. So that's kind of like a really, really squished together, like fast explanation of like how I got the idea. But yeah, I
Mhm.
it's definitely I could talk about it all day. So
That's so cool. You said you visited other cat cafes around the country. What
yes.
aspects of it did you start to pull for your own? Because I'm sure yours is different from everyone else's because we all have our
Oh
own like
yes.
different ideas.
Yes, every cat cafe you go to is a little bit different. So, the first one I went to was Nine Lives in Indianapolis, and it was just my favorite cat cafe. I loved it. It had like this very retro, very vintage vibe. They had everything separated out, which is typically how most cat cafes are. You have like if you do have food, you have to have it separate from the cats. And I just loved it. I had a cupcake and a tea, and it was delicious. And I got to go play with cats, and it was so much fun. So I was really just trying to recreate that Nine Lives vibe, only with like a special St. Augustine twist. So like when I would go to different places, like I would just find I definitely wanted to have food in mind. I definitely wanted to have coffee and tea and have like a real true cafe vibe to it. And then I also really enjoyed the ones who were beautifully decorated, like the one in Pervana. It was Pervana in Savannah. They had it looked like something out of Southern Living magazine. It was so cute, and it was all like furniture that had been, cats destroy furniture. So
Right.
I mean, it was,
Yeah.
but like from far away, before, if you, without like really looking close to it, like everything just set up like a Southern Living magazine, like just an old Southern um living room, and I love that. And I was like, that's cool. So um St. Augustine has the Spanish vibe. I love color. So if you ever go to the Witty Whisker Cat Cafe, you're gonna see that, like, wow, it's very colorful. So yeah, and I had just, but it's kind of a mismatch of everything. So I have like Indian saris for curtains, and I have a Turkish lamp that's a lot of different colors, and I have Mexican tile on my coffee table. So it's just lots of colors, lots of fun, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah, you don't get more colorful than you go to Asia or the Middle East or, Mexico. Like those are some bright colors.
Yes, yes, definitely
Yeah.
rainbow.
Right. I think last time I was in India, it was right before one of the festivals. I can't remember when. It was early festival, but so many
Yes.
lights everywhere. It was
Oh,
so much fun.
I've
I
always
think
wanted to
that's
go.
yeah, you should for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of colors. And saris are just the most beautiful thing. So but that's awesome. That's so cool that you're able to take different styles and kind of add your own flair and you started to see
Yes.
what other people are doing. Okay, I love how they did it for this, but this is how I think I would do it for my own. And clearly
Right.
it's worked well. So that's amazing. How many cats have you helped adopt in the past 4 years?
In the fast 4 years, so we have had 509 adoptions.
Wow,
Yes.
congrats. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. We're really happy about that. Yeah, we work with a local rescue. They're a nonprofit. We get all of our kitty cats from them. We function as a huge foster for that, so we can hold up to 20 cats in our
Oh,
facility.
wow.
And we only let like 10 people in at a time, so that you're gonna have a good cat to person ratio.
Mm,
And yeah, so we're really excited about the work that we've been able to do. The rescue that we work with is Feline Canopy of Care, and they've been around
okay.
for a long time in the area. So they're actually a really, really great organization. We're really lucky to be working with them.
Yeah. And I just realized if no one's ever heard or been to a cat cafe before, hopefully by now you kind of have an idea of what it is,
Yes,
of what you guys are doing, especially is it's not just you have random cats roaming around. People actually get the chance to adopt them if they actually really bond with a cat and they
that's
can
correct.
work. So you can have, a little snack as well as you can hang out there with the cats. And if there's someone that you just really connect with, you're welcome to talk with Angeli or whoever's there and learn a little bit more about that. And I don't know if everyone knew that because I definitely didn't know that when I first went to a cat cafe. I had no idea. I
Mhm.
just knew cats.
Yeah,
Sounds good. I'm there.
right.
And then I learned the whole thing, and it's a great thing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You also wrote a book, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. So I had so many people ask me about this business, how we set it up, what was the process like, everything. So I decided to write a book so that people could have it all like condensed. Because I was trying to help and I was trying to talk to as many people as possible, but I realized, I didn't always have the opportunity to go as in depth and in detail as I would like. So I did write a book about it to help people. It just goes into like from conception all the way to, opening your first day. And yeah, yeah. So I'm,
That's
I'm really excited
amazing.
about that. I'm really proud about that because it was hard trying to put a book together while you're also trying to run a business. But
It is.
did that, and I'm very proud of that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you should be. Writing a book in general is just so much work. I don't know if anyone ever sometimes realizes because it's one of those things where it's like you just don't know what you don't know, and then you're in the thick of it. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work,
Yeah.
especially something as complex as starting a business. Because especially like we as humans, there are so many things that are like intrinsic to us, right? And you don't know, should I explain this more? Should I not? Do people
Right.
know this will people know this? I don't want to talk down to the reader, but will they know this? I feel like I just knew this. How did I learn this? I don't remember. So it's a
Yeah.
whole thing. So I'll make sure I have some information on her book in the description. I don't know if I'll start a cat cafe anytime soon, but I love learning about how other people do this. I love other people's stories. That's a huge driving for this podcast. So I'll definitely check out that book. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Thank
What do you
you.
like? You've been around in St. Augustine for kind of a while. What would you kind of recommend to either new people or tourists, places to go, events to go to, any hidden
Oh,
gems you
there's
think in St. Augustine?
so many wonderful places. Restaurants. Good, just my favorite restaurant is the Floridian. I have never found anything quite like it. It's like locally sourced, farm to table kind of thing where like everything they get is local. It's so delicious. It's the only place I can have a salad and actually feel like I'm full. Right. Um, I love their salads. Another great place to go. You've got to check out uh, the um, the fort. I mean, that's the big landmark
Yes.
in the area. So you've got to check out the fort. There's just so many wonderful things to do. I mean, I love just going and exploring, just going to the little tiny places. I love eating, so that's my favorite thing. So there's so many little cafes and some little restaurants that you can go to. There is one. It's a Greek Polish restaurant, and I can't pronounce the name of it, but it's delicious if you find it. It's great. And let me see what else. The beach. You got to go to the beach. You got to go to
Yes.
the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Um, there's just so many fun things to do. So just
Yeah.
get out there. Uh, we have a really good um, uh, piratey kind of vibe. So there's a pirate cruise that you can do. I've
Yes.
done that with my friends. We have we have many ghost tours that are just so much fun to do.
Right.
So I highly recommend that to anybody who likes ghosts. And
Yeah.
they have them from like the super scary ones and then the not so scary ones. So you have your whole range of different ghost tours. So that's what I would recommend to do if you're in St. Augustine and you've never been before.
Yeah, I think those are some really solid recommendations. I actually have a friend and her family, whenever they travel somewhere, they usually try to find a ghost tour or something to just,
Oh,
they're like, this is
okay.
the best way to kind of explore the town is like
And you
finding
learn
out.
so much history.
You
Like you learn
do.
history, but then you've also got like the fun stories and things like that. So,
Yeah, so definitely make sure you give a shout out to those things. And St. Augustine, it's like one of those places, it's if you're a foodie, if you're into that, I mean, we
mm,
all are, I feel like at our heart, but if you're really into like diverse stuff, there's so many different things
oh my
over there
gosh,
in San
yes.
Augustine. It's unbelievable and it's amazing. And definitely make sure you check out the Witty Whiskers. I'll have all of Angeli's information in the description so you can click, copy, paste, check everything out a lot easier. Would definitely recommend if you've never had the experience of going to a cat cafe, 10 out of 10, you have to do it. It's one of those, like, you have to do it once in your lifetime kind of things. Unless you're, like, really allergic to cats, then maybe don't. But
You can
have
hang out on the
fun.
cafe side. You
Yes,
can hang out on the cafe
exactly.
side and have a glass of wine or, something little nibble or whatever and watch your friends
Exactly.
playing with the kitty cats. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, Angeli, thank you so much for coming on. I was so excited and I had so much fun learning about your business, how everything started, and it's been so
Yeah.
cool to learn. So thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate you being interested. So
Of
thank you so much for
course.
reaching out.
Yeah, and to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well, and I will see you next time. Bye.